So that was cool. Warriors win 124-106, and that's not what I was expecting at all. Wow, that was really something. I don't know. It was strange. Like New Orleans was winning by 20. They looked like they were going to put Golden State to bed. The Warriors couldn't find a way to score, and then Buddy Hield blew up in the second half. But Warriors win 124-106, which pretty good. I think the takeaways from this game really is how about Jonathan Kuminga? Huh? Boy, he needed to step up. And there was a play where he scored on one end, like he blocked or stole on the other end, and led the break, and then a smooth little alley oop to TJD for the dunk, which was amazing. I mean, just for that little glimpse there, you were like, yeah, there it is. There it is. Not a lot of people can play like that. And I was very encouraged. And it looks like, all the pressure he's put on himself that we talked about before, and the angst of him trying to step up with Steph out, him trying to fill that leadership role on a team of veterans is scary, man. Could you do it? I don't know if I could do it, but he's doing it. And last night was a very, very good step in the right direction. It just really was. I mean, looking at his stats right here, he didn't start, but he got 28 minutes, and that's what's needed for him. He needs minutes. What's he got? 28. He was 6 of 13. So, I didn't shoot the greatest. 1 of 3 for 3-pointers. Missed a couple open ones, but that's going to happen. You just got to keep playing through that. But how about 4 for 4 from the free throws? That's surprising. If he can do that and drive and make free throws, he's bank. He's going to be mine. I mean, he does that and rebounds. The Warriors got a chance. They got a chance. They're not going to win the title, but man, they got a chance. They got a chance to do some damage. Still, what kills me is these 3 rebounds. That just can't happen, man. You got to have at least 8 rebounds. You got to. You do 17 and 8, that's nice. But 17 and 3, that's not going to cut it. But like I said, step in the right direction, so that's good. Buddy Hield came out, and boy, did he play well. That first half couldn't make anything, and then that second half, switch got flipped, and he couldn't miss. Just putting on a show, and that, to me, was the difference maker in the game. I don't know what to make of New Orleans. Yeah, they had some people out, but so did the Warriors. But what do you guys think about Zion Williams? I mean, the guy has incredible talent. Nobody's denying that. But it just seems like something's off. It's almost like he's kind of going through the motions. I don't feel like he loves basketball. This could be me. I don't really watch New Orleans, but just the times that I've seen him play, he doesn't look like he enjoys it a ton. And I think he goes out there times where he's like, all right, I'm just going to do this, and boom, I'm going to dunk it, or I'm going to make this special move. And, it's 1, 2, 3 of those things. But for most part, he kind of disappears a little bit. I mean, what was his numbers at? I don't know. Let me see here. 30 minutes, 12 of 19. That's actually pretty good. 31 points. He had 7 turnovers. Wow. But he got 8 boards and 3 assists. So, but he was negative 14 on the plus and minus. But, the guy's got talent. I don't know. There's something missing there. And CJ McCollum played 31 minutes, and he only hit 2 shots, 3 shots with 1 3. Negative 7. Boy, I met CJ in Las Vegas at Summer League, and that dude is a totally nice guy. But I didn't even see him on the court very much. I didn't see his presence or his impact. So I don't know. Maybe this is a long road trip. I think they did 2 games up in Portland. And then they came down to the Bay Area. So they just might be tired. I don't know. Or maybe they're just like, we'll write this off, and then tomorrow you're going to get our real team. So we'll see what happens. The team didn't play Steph. Steph's out for a couple days, and Wiggins didn't play either. And I thought that was really going to hurt the Warriors, but in actuality, it didn't. I think the big star outside of Buddy Hield doing his thing of hitting all those bombs was Lindsey Waters. Man, Lindy Waters the third. I want to call him Lindsey, but It's Lindy Waters. So Lindy Waters is third, 8 of 13, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 2 for 2 from free throws. Did he get 8 rebounds too? Let's see. Man, I look at that and I go, Kuminga, what are you doing, man? If there's a will, there's a way. That is a heck of a stat sheet. 21 points, plus or minus 26, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. That's solid. That's starting solid. You know what I mean? So good for the Warriors for picking this kid up and giving him a chance to play, because he needs to play more. He needs to play more. He's smooth too. He's silky. He knows what he wants to do. He gets to his spot. He makes a shot and he moves forward. I like it. No drama. So that's a good positive. Trey Jackson Davis, he was 1 for 1 again. I think he missed his first shot, but 3 points, plus or minus 6, so that's good. Kyle Anderson got in the game, and he needs to play more. Kevon Looney, giving your solid effort. Draymond Green, 104, but Draymond's one of those guys where he is not going to score a lot of points, but his impact is just unbelievable. I mean, could you really see? I could see easily in a couple of years if Dre says on the team where Kerr bounces, and they just give the team to Draymond, and they say, Draymond, you're going to coach this team. And I could see that. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I could see that. I think Bill Russell did that. I'm not saying he's Bill Russell, but the guy knows basketball. He's just, man, he's so smart, man. You watch the stuff he does. He sees plays before they happen, and it must be really frustrating. It must be really frustrating to not have Steph, not have Clay, playing with these younger guys who he sees the game. He's playing so fast in his head, and he has to wait for these other players to catch up to him. And that's got to be incredibly frustrating. Incredibly frustrating. But he's doing it, and, hats off to him, I think he didn't really understand how to do a leader when, he punched Poole and has all that other history that he has of getting suspension and stuff. It has its place, but at the same time, it can really hurt a team. I think his punch when he hit Poole really kind of killed the Warriors. I think that was the end of the dynasty right there. And it wasn't even just the punch, really. It was the actions of the Warriors afterwards. He didn't get suspended. They put getting a ring over the right thing to do, which was suspend Draymond Green. Suspended for half the season. That's what I would have done. I mean, imagine you own a business, right? When your best players, whatever, your best employees, assaults one of your up and coming younger employees, and you don't do anything about it. That's wild to me. I don't know. I guess there's no HR in Golden State, but I think because they didn't do anything, it turned into a tumor, and I think if you really look at the Warriors' problems since the title of 2022, it can be traced exactly to that moment. Exactly to the moment that the punch happened, exactly to the moment where the video was leaked, exactly to the moment no discipline really was put together. There was no accountability. I think Kerr showed his weakness, which is, you get these leaders and there's going to be decisions where you have to make a tough decision. You got to make the decision that is the right decision, not the easy decision. And I think Kerr lacks this. I don't know if it's bravery or whatever, because leaders do this all the time. You balance the long-term goal, and I think Kerr looks at Draymond and understands his value, but he's too afraid to call him out on his junk. That's why when I saw him get benched, some people were saying he got benched the last game before New Orleans, because he didn't close that game out. And supposedly it was Jerry Stackhouse is the person who did it, who just said, you know what, if you're not going to run up and down the court, then boom, you're sitting, which is awesome, because he needs that. All players need that. Everybody's got to have boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, you're all over the place. And I guess he was pissed or whatever, but good. Absolutely good, because that needs to happen, And if we get more of that, then I think this team can foster, it can grow. But you got to have accountability. And I see some accountability here on the Warriors this year. And maybe Kerr needs that. Maybe it's his weakness. Everybody has weakness. And Jerry Stackhouse and Terry Stotts are the people that are the grown-ups in the room and saying, no, we're not doing that anymore. No. You're not going to play hard, you're sitting. JK, if you're not going to take advantage of these minutes and just wander around the court and not go after rebounds, not do an impact on the team, then you're not going to start. You're going to come off the bench. And I like that. As far as I'm concerned, you should earn it across the board. So we'll see what happens with Lindy Waters. He should definitely get more playtime. Moses should get more playtime. God, I like Moses. He's so good. I mean, what are you going to do with that? So they play tonight, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if Kuminga is going to go back in the starting lineup or if they're just going to keep it the same way it is. But if it were me and I was a coach, I definitely would look at starting Draymond Green at the 4, TJD at the 5, Moses at the 2. Let's if Wiggins is out. Moses at the 2, Kuminga at the 3, and Buddy Hield at the 1. Well, I don't know. I guess you can put Pods in there at the 1. No, I'm going to stick with Buddy Hield. I would try Buddy Hield at the 1, and we'll let Pajinski come in and run the second team. Because if it doesn't work early, you can just pull somebody and throw Brandon in there, or Gary Payton, and they can see what happens. But I think Lindy Waters needs to come off. He's your 6th man. I think Lindy Waters is the first guy off the bench. He comes in with Brandon together and start bringing in, Kyle Anderson. I don't know what's going on with Anthony Melton and those guys, but it looks like they're pretty injured. So, but that's where I would go and see what happens. A lot of good players, a lot of positive things to happen with the Golden State Warriors. So we'll see what happens in the rest of the season, but I was very impressed with what I saw going forward. Is it me, or when you were watching that game and Brandon Ingram's just going off, right? I mean, the guy is just, he almost looks like he's like stoned out there. You ever seen his eyes? He's like, but the guy can play. And I just kept thinking to myself, I wonder if this is an audition, and they say, all right, we're going to let Brandon do his thing. We're going to show you what he can do. And they did the same thing with Kuminga. And maybe that's one of the things that we're looking at, Let's get some Kuminga or some Wiggins or whatever. And they say, you know what, let's just flip these. We'll take Brandon Ingram, and you guys can take Kuminga and Wiggins or whatever. And we move on. Maybe. But hoping that Kuminga does really well tonight and builds upon what he did this past night, where he put up a solid 17 points. And I mean, really, 6 of 13, 1 of 3. If he can just, it's rebounding. I'm just looking at his boards. I mean, those shots are eventually going to fall, and that's great, but he's got to get those boards up. He's got to get those boards up if he wants to play big time, or if he wants to, get that max deal. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Then he needs to do that. So that was my quick thoughts for the Warriors tonight, for last night. We'll see what happens with the Warriors tomorrow. A lot of stuff happening around the Bay. I don't know if anybody saw the switching over to the 49ers, what they saw with Nick Bosa, I guess, put on the MAGA hat and on national TV. I guess he was trying to, I don't know, get his little moment there for politics, putting MAGA out there. And I don't understand that. I mean, you're a guy, I get it. You're from Ohio, you're a Midwestern guy, and you love Trump or whatever, but you got drafted by the San Francisco 49ers, a notoriously liberal city, very inclusive, very racially diverse. This area is highly educated, and you're doing well. You're part of the team. We're accepting you. I don't think people care about politics very much. I mean, just keep it to yourself, really. That's kind of the Bay Area motto. As long as you're not hurting anybody or doing something crazy, keep it to yourself, go nuts. You know what I mean? So for him to come out and put on a MAGA hat when there's four white dudes there anyway, right? You got the interviewer, and then you got Kittle and all these Midwestern guys. And he comes out and with this MAGA hat, and he's like, MAGA. He rolls out. What were you trying to do there? What's the point of that? Didn't they see Cap a couple weeks ago or a couple years ago that got completely blacklisted from the NFL for just kneeling? And now you're going to come out and try to what? Gaslight San Francisco, the Bay Area, your fans? What's the point of that? I don't understand. I mean, if you don't want to be here and you want to, you know, go back to Ohio, then I'm all for it. Trade him. You know, you got to adapt to wherever the locality is. And if you're saying, hey, you know what? I don't know. I'm going to stick it to the liberals and let them know, hey, this is our mag, especially after the comments that were had at that convention in New York where he was calling Puerto Ricans trash. And then to come out with that hat. I mean, yeesh. I'm the Warriors, man. I'm really considering figuring out maybe we need to trade this guy. You think I'm crazy, but same thing with the punch, man. Accountability. Are the Warriors going to do accountability for this guy or no? Because the last time they did accountability for a player who was doing some political action on the field, they blacklisted him, and that was Kaepernick. So if you're not going to do anything and just kind of sweep this under the rug because this guy happens to be, a really good player, and let's not beat around the bush, and he's white. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, it's not going to fly here. Now, long term, what do you think is going to happen? What's the benefit of just happening with Nick Bosa? Right? He does his MAGA hat, doesn't want to talk about it, but he pretty much spit in the eye of the Bay Area, the San Francisco 49ers home base, and says, look at me. I'm a MAGA. Okay, well, good for you. Now, why don't you go MAGA back to Ohio? You don't have to do that here. Why has politics become like, it's like a virus? It's infected everything. It's turned into entertainment. You can't do anything now because people have to bring politics into everything, and it just absolutely poisons the well, man. So now you got to deal with that for the rest of the year. Congratulations, Bosa. Pretty smart move there, dude. Now, every time we go to a Niner game or anytime we see you with the Niners uniform, the first they're going to think about is when they see you as not a great player, they're going to say, there goes the racist guy. It's going to happen. Smart move. Boy, you're not too bright. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long his career is going to be here. And I'll be honest, I think the Niners, we'll see what happens. They got Brock Purdy, he's a nice young kid. They got some young players. I mean, the window's closing, definitely. So if the window's closing and they don't win the title this year, it's looking skeptical next year. Do the Niners look and start shaking this up and starting over? Because you can't keep doing this and having this huge payroll and doing nothing. And then now you got, outside stuff happening with politics and, breaks part of the game. Can you imagine you're an African-American player or a Latin American or anybody with color, Asian, whatever on that team, and you see the best player on your team breaking out MAGA, just dividing the locker room. Now you got to talk about MAGA. I mean, I'd be pissed if I was in the locker room. I'd be like, dude, who gives a shit? Why would you do that on national TV? That's what I would do anyway. I don't know. I don't think this is going to end well for him. People are like, oh, it's Nick Bosa. He's amazing. Nah, I don't think so. I think if there's one thing about growing up in the Bay Area, and one thing I know is you start doing stuff like this that's counter or it becomes a thorn in everybody's side because you're just, I don't know what the point of that was, but you're trying to be exclusive. You're trying to create division. You're gaslighting communities, making people feel bad. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. And when it goes, it goes. So I don't know. I don't see him on the Niners very long. It doesn't work in the Bay Area. Take it to Ohio and enjoy Ohio. Youngstown State. Woo! Anyways, that's it for me. Warriors won last night. Warriors won tomorrow. And we'll see what happens here in the future with Nick Bosa. I don't know. We'll see. Lots of crazy things happening today in the world. Economics, not the best. Housing markets crashing. Elections coming up next week. And God, I can't wait till that's over. We'll see what happens. I'm not convinced that there's more coming. I don't know. You get that feeling? Something's coming. I don't know what it is. Anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. I don't know if you're supposed to subscribe or something. I hate when people say that. So just enjoy your day. All right. We'll talk to you later. You're fantastic. Go Warriors.